How's it going, Triple S members? Hope everybody's having a great day today. I want to thank everybody for joining us on another episode of Triple S Live. I'm your host today, Brett Battaglia. Today we have Rusty and Cameron at Americo who will talk a little bit about how to master specialty floor care such as LVT and guide you to help make better customer decisions and make their operations smoother and more cost effective. If you guys have any questions throughout the presentation, please feel free to ask them at any time. We have a Q&A as well as a chat box down at the bottom, and I'll do my best to monitor any questions along the way. Since this session is being run through a Zoom meeting rather than a webinar format, we do just ask that everybody stays muted. Unless you have a question to ask, of course, then you can unmute yourself and ask away. As always, this webinar will be recorded and added to our members portal by the end of the day. So without further ado, I'd like to hand the floor over to Americo.
Sounds great, Brett. Thank you very much. Good morning, everybody. I'm Rusty Heinzman, VP of Sales here at Americo for U.S. Commercial, and also joining me today is Cam Dunnigan, our National Sales Manager. Appreciate you guys spending a little time with us here this morning as we, offer a few tips on some of the trouble spots that you guys may encounter with your customer base out in the marketplace. So, without further ado, let's just go ahead and jump right into this. A little high level information here, growth opportunities in today's market. We are all seeing more and more unique or specialty floor types going in across the country. As Brett mentioned, we're seeing a lot more LVT or LVP, luxury vinyl tile, luxury vinyl plank as an example. It's actually the fastest growing substrate in the US right now. Traditional maintenance doesn't necessarily, hit the number there, if you will. And so we're going to talk about how to win with those, how to serve your customers, and, kind of how to solve their problems. A couple of high level points here that just wanted to toss in here. Americo's Triple S product is made in the USA. It is Green Seal certified, at least most of our floor pads. There are some specialty items that are not the traditional manufacturing process that we'll talk about, and it's pretty self-explanatory, but Americo is where high performance and sustainability collide, and it's a great story to be able to share with your customer base and provide them with solutions to help them maintain their facilities easier, not harder. Next thing I wanted to say is, you got the national brand out there, and for a number of decades they were the best game in town. But over time, we've gotten smarter, we've gotten better, and we've figured out ways to introduce things into the marketplace that will help you solve some of these problems. But the bottom line is, you don't have to pay Scotch-Brite prices anymore to get high performance. We're there. We can always argue, we give them credit on the High-Pro pad. That's a unique technology and a great pad. But beyond that, everybody, put the margin in your pocket and use the Americo Triple S program. It is rock solid. Along that same line, there is a sizable performance difference between Americo Triple S and 3M Triple S, and of course ACS. You might save 10% on the pad, but you may spend another 10 or 15% on the cost of the job. So, that's what we're trying to do here is solve problems with the most profitability. And, the Americo Triple S brand is poised to do that for you all. So moving along here, achieving success with specialty floor types. As we mentioned, the end user pain points are really where y'all have the opportunity to make your money. And more importantly, you start solving problems for your customers and you become the immediate go-to. You are now the trusted resource, and they're going to listen to you and they're going to trust you, and you're both going to win. So as we get into some of these specialty floor types here, the first one there, LVT, LVP, we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about concrete, natural stone, and terrazzo using the Black Diamond system. Folks, that system is so easy to use. If you haven't, I would encourage you to try it. When you are doing demos with it, it is instant gratification. Very, very harmless, very simple, and a lot safer to use than some may actually feel to be the case. So moving on from there, we're also going to talk a little bit about rubber and synthetic rubber floors, the Noras, if you will, or some of these, multi-purpose floors you may see in a utility room at a school, or a family type center in a church environment, or even healthcare, where we're seeing a lot of this rubber going in a variety of end user verticals. So we're going to talk about some of the solutions we have for that. And then, of course, everybody knows that one of the things that is a challenge for our facilities today is labor. And when you don't have manpower, one of the first things to fall off your to-do list is burnishing. You may eliminate it, you may just reduce it to a very infrequent frequency. And so how do we win and how do we maintain gloss when staffing is a challenge? So those are some of the things we're going to talk through here today. And again, as Brett said, if y'all have questions, fire them off. We'll keep this light, keep it simple, and have a little fun with floors. So this particular one we've got here is already in the Triple S regime, known as the Merlin Restoration Pad. This is our traditional melamine pad that works brilliantly on rubber, the synthetic surfaces, and actually, many other substrates as well. What I want to call out to y'all today are some of the real demo pics we have from, the past year, past two, whatever, that really put the proof in the pudding as far as the efficacy of some of these pads and how they really perform. The big picture you see in the center there with the gentleman in the red shirt behind the boost machine, that is a rubber floor. And the thing about rubber is we mop it, we run our reds and our whites over it, and we just, try and surface clean it. And to the naked eye, it looks like it's clean and everybody's happy. But then when you jump in and you put one of these melamine pads on the floor and you add a neutral cleaner to it, add the neutral on rubber, because the melamine is very grabby, if you will, and it'll put so much drag on that machine that the neutral cleaner will help with we've coined this funny word, we call it lubricity. And you help, put basically a little bit of something slick in there to reduce the drag between the rubber floor and the melamine. But I mean, that's obviously one pass under a machine, and you're cutting it's like you're plowing snow through that embedded soil. So the Merlin is literally just magical when it comes to these synthetic surfaces. As you move left into the pictures, you see that hallway stripe there with VCT, dirty VCT, admittedly, but that is, just again, the Merlin pad, one pass right down the middle. And we clean without removing finish. That's another key point I want to call out here. Look at the lights in the middle of that picture. We didn't get rid of the coating. We just deep cleaned it without removing it, or else you wouldn't get light refraction like that from the bulbs. So another great angle to restore or deep clean, if you will. And then, of course, the picture there on the left with the 1-inch multi-dimensional tiles. The story behind that pad or that picture is that is a youth center in Chicago. And the gentleman was actually very happy with the condition of his floor, which was on the right, until we came in with that Merlin pad and just water and got after it. And admittedly, you may have to tiptoe a little bit here sometimes, because you're going to have a facility person that thinks their floor is clean. You don't want to embarrass them. But you can take this pad and just, get after it. It's going to get down into those shallow grout lines, and it's going to remove the embedded soil. So, great pad here. Not going to remove finish, will restore tile and grout, will reduce your overall cleaning cost, because if you bring this in maybe once every 30 days and you hit that floor with it and then just maintain your traditional cleaning cycle with your red buff or whatever you're doing after that, you're going to maintain a level of clean that is something that your facility is not used to. So again, you can come in here and be a hero and save them a bunch of money, and you make a bunch of money. One thing I want to toss out here when it comes to doing a little bit of a trial on say a rubber floor or really any floor is just take a little melamine sponge with you. You don't have to necessarily have a machine to prove the performance of this. Take that little melamine sponge, run it underwater, and go do a little 12 by 12 area right in the middle of the floor with your hand. And then stand back and look at how clean that spot is on the floor. And boom, you've done a demo in 2 minutes with no machine and very little effort. So a large opportunity here to help your facilities undo some of the problematic challenges they encounter with synthetic floors and really any floor there. This pad is available in round and rectangle, and we also have it in the utility, also known as a doodlebug size, for applications as needed. Okay, moving along here. Luxury vinyl tile, luxury vinyl plank. This is the fastest growing substrate in the US. Healthcare obviously loves it. Class A office loves it. Schools are getting into it. Everybody's putting in LVT. And this LVT pad is, we in the Americo speak, we call it Toro. And the LVT cleaning pad is very, very similar in performance to the previous slide pad known as the Merlin. The difference between the Merlin and the LVT cleaning pad is simply durability. The Merlin pad is very delicate, very soft, and prone to tearing. The key with it is you have to keep it totally saturated on the floor. Keep it with your scrubbers, keep your water line wide open, put wet mop on the floor, and keep continuous water to the floor with both the Merlin and the LVT pad. Basically, one of two things is going to happen. The pad's going to come apart on you, or you're going to get the results you're looking for. And the difference between those two outcomes is the amount of solution you put on the floor. It's that simple. So you look here at these three pictures, starting on the left, that's in a hospital. The first two pics are before and after with the LVT cleaning pad. Proof's kind of in the pudding there, right? Just go get after it. And again, you don't need harsh chemicals on this. The picture on the right, LVT in a hallway. You don't realize over time that floor is just dirty. And you're looking at it every day and you don't realize it until you put a pad like this on the floor and just take off. So wonderful solutions, wonderful outcomes, and the ability to make big money for yourself and solve problems for your customer. The LVT cleaning pad will last up to 400,000 square feet, whereas the Merlin may only last you 10 or 15,000 square feet. So the LVT cleaning pad is more expensive, but it's, you get 40 times the coverage almost. So definitely a value. One thing I would suggest with this is if you are demoing the LVT cleaning pad, I would encourage you not to leave it behind very long. Because of its durability, it'll be a while before you would get an order. So take the pad in, do a demo area, and then start writing purchase orders. That's what we're all here for. One thing I will throw out there, LVT was, introduced into the industry as a fingers in the air quotes, maintenance-free floor type. Well, we all know that is hogwash. And by the time that facilities figure out that LVT is not maintenance free, the soil is already so embedded that it's near impossible to get out. So if you encounter that situation, take a degreaser, take a citrus-based chemical, something that will help oxidize and lift that soil, and then take the mean green turf pad and put it on the floor and take off. It will help lift that embedded soil. And then you can continue on with a more, regular maintenance program with the LVT cleaning pad. But the mean green or the turf scrub pad will allow you the opportunity to help lift that embedded soil. This guy is tough when you try and do it the way everybody's normally tried to do it. But when you put the right pad in the game, restoring and cleaning LVT and LVP becomes a definite sales opportunity and a solution for your customers.
If you go to a demo, take the order form with you. Trust me, everybody struggles, like Rusty said, with the LVT, LVP. And when you do that demo, you're going to get the order for sure.
Cam, real quick, if you would
Yeah.
please tell them about your visit down to Baylor University.
So we were there. This was several years ago. Baylor had a pretty good football program that year, so they had some extra money. But the guy that was cleaning the basketball courts was complaining about swirl marks on the gym floor. It had nothing to do with the pad, more the finish. But we went in there with a extract pad, or the
Merlin.
Merlin. Thank you, Rusty. The Merlin, the solid melamine pad, and we literally made one pass right in front of where the players sit on the basketball court, and it made that floor look day one brand new. All the scuff marks, water spots, all of that stuff was off the floor, and it was the sales system perfect scenario where the end user, the head janitor, looked over at the distributor that we were with, and he never once asked about the price or how long the pad would last. It solved his problem, and he simply said, "Get cases for me right now and keep cases in inventory for him." Until this day, that distributor has that business because of that. These are, like Rusty said, these are great problem-solving pads, and I promise you, no matter who you go into that has LVT floors, whether it's a hospital, a nursing home, you're seeing it in healthcare or in hospitality now. All these hotels are putting it in because they think it's low maintenance, and they're being sold on that. But when you go do a demo and you can show literally like that before and after picture we show there, as we like to call it, it's a trunk slammer. You got the order, and it's off to the races. I will say this: they don't have to use it every day, like Rusty said. Make it part of your just weekly or your monthly maintenance program. But as a side note, if they want to do it every day, we have kids to put through college and would love the business. So order away.
Awesome. Thank you, Cam. Great demo, great story. Okay, moving right along. Let's jump into concrete, natural stone, and terrazzo. This would be our concrete polishing system that we call Black Diamond. It is very, very easy to use. It is not something that you can damage the floor with. Let me jump in here and say that the four primary grits are the 400, 800, 15, and 3000. And then we've also got the 200 grit, which I use the joke of, in case of emergency, break glass. This is when you've got heavy, deep scratching, stains, orange peel, etc., where your traditional, 400 grit may not be aggressive enough to get that concrete surface back to polishing state. So the 200 and the 8000 are a little more specialty. 400 through 3000 is your more traditional system. And you don't always have to use all four. You can start with the, say, 800, or even start with the 1500 and then work your way up through. By the time you get to the 3000, you've gone through that and you've brought it up, you've used that to polish the floor. You can use that same 3000 grit pad just to do your daily cleaning under the auto scrubber. So you theoretically, if you had a 20-inch scrubber and a 20-inch burnisher, you could use that 20-inch pad under the scrubber, the 3000, for your cleaning, and then take it off the scrubber, put it under your burnisher, and use that same pad to polish or to bring the shine to the floor, to increase your gloss. So it's kind of like sandpaper in a dresser. You go through the grits, and then once you get to the final one, that's the only one you're going to need going forward. So very simple to use, requires only water. And it's a straightforward process. What we recommend: no special equipment needed. You can use it low speed wet, and you can use it high speed dry. We recommend 4 to 6 passes per grit. You may not have to do that many, but we do recommend it. And whatever pad you put on the floor first, let's say you do start with the 400. Always lean a little heavier on your first pad, maybe a couple extra passes if you have time, because it's doing the heaviest lifting. It's going to wear out the first, but it's setting the stage for the subsequent steps. and you want to make sure that you're going down and taking it to a, that matte finish so you can bring it back up with a very smooth surface. So great system. As many of you know, historically, Americo heavily promoted Twister. And it's kind of difficult to sell Twister for a decade and then wake up one day and say, you know what, we're going to do this now instead of selling Twister. It did pose some challenges, but folks, if you've used Twister, I can assure you one thing: you will not be disappointed with Black Diamond. We are increasing gloss and we are lasting longer at every single turn, and we are also less expensive. So give it a shot if you haven't. I want to call attention over to the picture there in the lower left. We had a training about a year ago, 6 months ago, whatever it was, and we did 4 patches, and you can see the difference in gloss level between the 4, the 8, the 15, and the 3, and what you're looking to accomplish there. I mean, the 400 really just mats it, cleans it, removes everything, and gives you a perfect surface to move forward with. So that's a pretty good example of what you can do with just an old cruddy warehouse floor. We are able to incorporate sealers, densifiers when appropriate. We are not fans of putting coatings on concrete. We think that concrete is better served in its bare form, not including the sealers and the densifiers. If you're putting a penetrating coating on there, that is perfect. If you're in a grade school cafeteria where fruit punch is getting spilled every day, you definitely want some sort of a sealer on there. We recommend using the 400 grit first. Open up the pores of the concrete as much as you're going to get. Then while the pores are open, incorporate your sealer or your densifier. Then proceed with your 800, your 1500, and get up to your 3000. Then you're basically locking that sealer into the floor. So after you use the first step, incorporate your sealer as needed, and then carry on with the additional steps. Just wanted to show a couple more pictures here of what you can do, with concrete terrazzo natural stone. So obviously on the left, you have terrazzo, and you can see the Black Diamond pads up there at the top. You go through all 4 steps and you can get a very matte looking terrazzo to pop like that with no coatings. You don't need to put wax on terrazzo either, folks. Black Diamond pads and terrazzo were a match made in heaven. They're just great together. The center picture is just as self-explanatory as you can possibly get. That's the 4-step system going up through 4 to 6 passes each, water only. It's a home run and it works brilliantly, and it's really very simple. Threw that picture in on the right just because when it comes to deep cleaning nasty concrete, that's actually a turf pad, a mean green, folks, or a turf scrub pad. Just wanted to call attention to the versatility of that pad and show what it can do on a really nasty concrete. I will let you know that that turf pad will stand up to every aggressive chemical you want to use: bleach, peroxide, grout cleaners, acid-based cleaners, you name it. That thing is a rocket ship and will stand up to whatever it is you throw at it. Okay, labor-saving solutions. So as we talked, every facility in the world needs more help. When you don't have help, your burnishing gets diminished or eliminated altogether, but that facility would still love to have gloss on its floor. Well, guess what? Introduce Easy Scrub and Shine. You don't need to burnish. You can replace your red buff pad in your daily maintenance program. You're using a red buff under your scrubbers to clean the floors every day. Get rid of it, put Easy Scrub and Shine underneath the machine, and continue exactly as you would with your red buff pad. And over the course of 30 days, not only are you going to see a floor that is better cleaned or more clean, but you are also going to start increasing gloss to the level of about 50 on a gloss meter. And 50 on a gloss meter is a gloss level that is satisfactory to just about every grocery store chain in America. So that gives you some perspective on what 50 looks like. You can achieve 50 satisfactory gloss levels with no burnishing. If you want to incorporate a day of burnishing in there, great. It's only going to pop your shine or bounce it up, whatever you want to do. But you can put this pad in replace of red buff, do your daily cleaning, and increase gloss. I want to tell you a quick story. I was talking with a concrete product manager from a large West Coast distributor chain, and they were a very big 3M house. And he called me one day and he said, "We want to introduce Twister." That gives you a timeline. So it was a few years ago. "We want to introduce Twister, but we also want to add your Smart Scrub pad into the mix." And I said, "That's great, but forgive me for asking. You guys are big 3M. Why would you just not go with their Clean and Shine pad?" And folks, without hesitation, his response was, "Because yours cleans better, lasts longer, and scratches less." So if you're finding Clean and Shine business out there and you're interested in making a conversion, let us know what size pad you need. We will send it to you and you will make the conversion. It's easy pickings. So if you have facilities that are looking for a deep clean pad that'll increase gloss with no burnishing, this is your ticket. It's going to last you 5 times longer than a rub buff pad. Yes, it costs more than a red buff pad, but it washes out. You essentially are getting the gloss increase for free and not having to go and touch the pad, flip the pad every day, rinse it out, not discard it and start over. You can use one pad for up to 500,000 square feet. So great solution. If you have questions about that, please do not hesitate to ask. In my opinion, folks, this is the best pad in the Americo offering. If you haven't played with it, give it a shot. It's an excellent solution and an excellent money maker for y'all on the street. Okay, probably my favorite product that we have right now and one that continues to grow. Folks, dead honesty, we are growing more than 30% annually with this item. If it's not in your arsenal, please put it in your arsenal. This is the 3M counterpart, or excuse me, the Triple S counterpart to the 3M Easy Trap. We outperform them at every turn. We pick up 73% more dirt and soil. We last longer. We are a little bit thicker. Our adhesive is on the outside. And our perforations don't tear where they're not supposed to. If you've ever used Easy Trap, you lose a lot to shrinkage, folks. Not the case with the Bulldog. Again, excellent trial opportunity. If you aren't incorporating this into your scrub and recoat procedures, do it. It only costs a little bit more to go first class. And after you've taken your floor down and you're getting ready to recoat, before you start the recoat process, run this over your floor. You will be amazed at the additional particulate you are removing from the floor before you start your recoat process. Triple S is killing it with Bulldog. If it is not part of your arsenal, make it part of your arsenal. Your single facility hospital in small town USA, if they are using this, they're using more than 40 grand a year. This dust sheet is 3M's largest janitorial SKU. The market on this product is massive and is an easy way to grow your top line sales by hundreds of thousands of dollars if you put it into your network. So strong recommendation there, folks. Play with Bulldog. It is a massive money maker and you are priced very competitively.
Hey, Rusty, I know we're running low on time, but let me just jump in and say that, that Bulldog product is huge in healthcare. But due to COVID, we're seeing a lot of other channels take a play out of the healthcare book. And some of the biggest users we have now are hospitality and resorts. Schools love it. What goes into a room, cleans it, leaves in a garbage bag. You're not moving germs and stuff around from room to room. And some of these distributors, they may do, let's say 20 grand in floor pads. They're doing 200 grand a year in one SKU of Bulldog, just to give you an idea of the potential that product has in some of these major end users.
Yeah, great call, Cam. It's it transcends all verticals. And again, if you get a facility on this stuff, it's going to generate significant revenue for you and be an immediate hygiene level improvement for your facilities. So Okay, couple little quick talking points here. I know I touched on this in the beginning, but I wanted to tell you all again that the vast majority of the Americo Triple S brand floor pads are Green Seal certified. That comes with our full cycle enhanced biodegradation, where we have third-party documented ASTM testing where we had fully biodegraded in an active landfill almost 93% in less than 2 years. Folks, when non-full cycle floor pads hit the landfill, they sit there for a period of time we measure in centuries. So if you've got a facility that is big into sustainability, your Americo Triple S floor pads are an excellent option for you to check that box for them and achieve high performance in your efforts. I know this is available to all of you, but I wanted to drop it back in here just as a reminder that it's here. Our floor pad cross-reference guide. You see all the Triple S pads down the left side, and then all the competitor pad brand names over to the right. So if you need to get a copy of this, let us know. It's a great little cheat sheet to help you cross-reference competitive products to the Triple S program. And then also wanted to share this. This is our rep group map. I know most of you probably know your local reps, but if you don't, let us know, and we will get you a copy of this so you can, work with your rep, or more importantly, we can have our reps contact you to support you the way you need to be supported. So just wanted to put that in there. Other than that, folks, we are done, and let us know what questions you may have. Thank you very much for your time today.
Awesome. Yeah, thanks guys. Right on the nose there. Yeah, I also would recommend, like you guys are saying, definitely get out there, guys. Do some demos. You're not going to be disappointed in that. So if you have any questions, now would be the time to either put them in the chat or you can unmute yourself. And yeah, we'll give it about 30 seconds, see if anybody has questions. And if not, you can always ask us later on, either reach out to Triple S info line or reach out to Rusty or Cameron directly. And is there any last thoughts that you guys would just kind of like to leave people today with? Just any last, overall thoughts?
Yeah, good call, Brett. The one thing at a high level I would just throw out there is, folks, if you have a question, please don't hesitate to ask us. We are happy to work with you, support you, and get you the answers that you need, so we can, be as efficient as we can for you. Cam and I and Americo in general have evolved to one simple 2-word statement, and we find that it's proven effective and very, very successful. Cam?
Service wins. Simply
Service
put,
wins. That's
service
all
wins.
it takes, folks. If we can help you, we will. And Teresa, we will certainly get you a copy of that pad cross-reference sheet to rdphillip.com.
Awesome. Yeah, it doesn't look like I see any more questions in here. But again, if anybody has any later on, do not hesitate to reach out. We'll get you that answer as soon as possible. I just want to thank you guys again for taking the time today to share all that great information with us. And yeah, we will see you guys on the next session. Thanks a lot.
Sounds great. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, everybody.